I'm thrilled to invite our next speaker, Ms. Debjani Ghosh, to share her insights on unlocking India's Generation AI.
Good morning, everyone. And it is just fantastic to be here among so many friends, among so many people that I absolutely adore. Their work I adore. And the last time I was in a meeting with Pramod and Abhishek, I think this was the PSA meeting, and we were discussing big problems. I threatened to get them locked in a room till they could find a solution, or, I pretty much asked Professor Ajay Sood to just lock them up till the solution could be found. And today, with so many of you here, I think, Pramod, that might be a good strategy to follow. So, following in others' giant footsteps, I'm going to talk about one idea. Before I do that, how many of you have heard of in silico medicine? Anyone in the room? So, Kalyan, yes, you've heard, you did the research for me. So, they are a pretty remarkable drug discovery company, a startup actually, that has been using the power of AI to revolutionize therapies for debilitating diseases. And very recently, they announced a drug candidate discovered using their AI platform had reached phase 2 clinical trials, targeting a relatively rare respiratory ailment that leads to gradual decline in the lung function. Now, if in silico had used the traditional methods, this entire project would have cost them more than $400 billion and spanned over 6 years. However, with the use of AI, especially generative AI, they achieved the same in pretty much a fraction of time and cost, enabling them to reach phase 1 clinical trials in merely 2.5 years since commencement. Think about it. And this is achievement, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is why we have to care about AI. This is why we have to talk about AI, we have to care about AI, and we have to care about who controls AI. And that's a very, very important conversation that does not happen as much as it should happen. And talking about control of AI, Tortoise Global Media, I think, recently released their AI index. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen it, which pretty much ranks countries in terms of where they are on leading AI and who's controlling it. They talk about control and the why. So without, no surprises there, United States, China, these are undisputed leaders. US is right up front. China's following closely. Interestingly, Singapore went into third place, displacing UK. But when you think about it from their perspective, the why makes a lot of sense. I mean, you think about countries like US and China with huge demographic issues. Their growth, their survival depends on how well they're able to use AI to get the productivity boost. This is a matter of survival for them. This is absolutely a must-do for them. So it does make sense. What was interesting for me was to see India break into the top 15, which I had frankly not expected. Especially given the very low scores that we have on infrastructure, R&D, investments, all three, right? But we actually ranked at number 14, and this was thanks to one and only one factor. Any guesses? Talent. India's AI talent has held on to the number 2 position globally, I think for the last many, many years, right? And this was fascinating to see. And I think this is something I do believe as a nation we take for granted. This is a profoundly strategic competitive advantage if you think about it. The world today needs to figure out how to unlock the full potential of AI, to drive that, to get that productivity boost, to figure out solutions for climate change, to accelerate drug discovery. There's so many big problems. We know AI is the solution, but we're still not sure how to get the best out of AI to solve for these problems. The key lies in talent. And if we can be the provider of that talent, I mean, it's in my head, it's a pretty potent strength to have. But I don't think we can be complacent about our position and where we are with respect to talent. I do believe this is the right time for us to figure out how do we drive that transformative watershed moment in our talent strategy. In other words, how do we drive the DPI moment in our talent strategy? DPI to me is really about disruption. It is about a mindset. And we need that disruptive mindset in talent. Our biggest strength, without any doubt or without any dispute, I think, is the young population we have that is tremendously tech-friendly. Right? They are not scared of technology. They love using technology. They will use anything you give them, and they know how to use it well. And this is, again, a huge strength that we do take for granted. Can we now relook at this asset, relook at this strength, and figure out what do we need to do to transform this into a 100x competitive advantage by ensuring that this generation that we have, this young generation of tech-friendly people, becomes the talent hub for the era of AI. They become what I call Generation AI, what we at NASSCOM are talking about in terms of how do we can transform India into Generation AI. I mean, you think about it, at NASSCOM we are sort of looking at it in three ways, in a pyramid framework, 3 tiers, right? Few, many, all. Few, the world needs around 1 million engineers. Can we create those engineers? Can we ensure, can industry, academia, government join hand, mission critical approach to ensure we will create 1 million AI professionals that are truly world class? And in today's world, what do I mean by world class? I'm sure you all have heard about the GitHub Copilot the study that they are doing, where coders using Copilot are around 70% faster or 55% faster, and achieving a performance of 78% versus the control group that's not using it, that's at 70%. How do we ensure this top tier, that 1 million AI professionals, deliver that accelerated speed, efficiency, performance? If you're hiring from India, you know you're going to get that boost. Can we ensure that? I absolutely believe we can. The second tier is interesting. We have around 18 to 20 million white-collar workers. Can we again get together and put together a really well-thought-through mission-critical mode project to say every one of these 20 million white-collar workers will be injected by the skills and capabilities to use the AI tools to deliver that 30x productivity boost? The third layer is all of us, right? Everyone. And we are all digital literate. We are a land of digital natives. Can we now convert this land of digital natives to a land of AI literate folks who not only know how to use AI tools like Kisan GPT, Adil was talking about, sorry, time's up. I'm gonna take their 30 and 40 seconds. Adil was talking about the gig economy. How do you use these technologies and also know how to use it safely? You might have noticed that I talked about skills inject. I kept referring to that, and that's because I believe that what we need is what we did in times of COVID. We developed a vaccine. We got 1 billion people vaccinated in a matter of like couple of years. If we can do that, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Just needs that disruptive thinking and needs tremendous collaboration. And what I believe India needs right now is a skill vaccine to ensure that we can build this generation AI, and we can unlock the full potential of this generation AI to deliver that productivity boost for the world. And once again, if we control the talent supply chain, then when the world thinks AI, they have no option but to think India. Thank you.
Thank you, Debjani, for your exceptional commitment to the conference despite everything, and for making us relook at the talent that we have within our country to power through in the world of AI.